House of Cards.
TCG.
What's up guys, it's Shane here from House of Cards, TCG, coming to you with a brand new January 2020 Dinosaur full power deck profile featuring Miscellaneousaurus. Have you read this card? Featuring Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. We made some really spicy changes to this deck that I'm super thrilled about. Can't wait to show you. Be sure to like and subscribe to our channel for more amazing Yu-Gi-Oh content, and yeah, check it out. All right guys, let's jump right into this. The first thing we have should be no surprise to anyone. Gonna be 3 Miscellaneousaurus. One of the most broken cards in the deck, makes the deck so strong. If you're watching this, you know how great this card is. Next thing is 3 Soul-Eating Oviraptor. This is your searcher. It can also dump cards to the graveyard. Just a great normal summon. Can be special summoned with Baby Ceratosaurus and Petit Pteranodon as well. Next thing is 3 Baby Ceratosaurus. I've seen builds with only 2 of this. I don't know why. I want to see this in my opening hand. If you're going second, a Lost World plus any Dino is essentially full combo. And you also want to see a baby in hand to get your Misc combo, which we're going to go over next. And then we have 1 Petit Pteranodon. You only need 1 of these. I mean, it's just a less good version of Baby Ceratosaurus because it can only bring out level 4 or higher. Whereas a baby can bring out level 4 lower, which can recycle itself, which is pretty cool. Next thing is 2 Animadorned Archosaur. You want to have 2, I think 3 is too many, 1 is not enough. You don't really want to draw this card. And if you do draw it, you want to have the second one in the deck so you can trigger your Miscellaneousaurus effect. Next thing we have is 2 Ultimate Conductor Tyranno. Again, this one, you don't really want to draw it. I mean, it's not the worst thing if you draw it, but this card is searchable with your double evolution pill, so you don't really want to see it in your hand. Next thing is 1 Giant Rex. This card allows you a lot of really crazy combos, which I will be showing you. Next is Dagaran, the Mad Flame Kaiju. This one just really helps you get out of a lot of jams. This build is really great going second, and this card is really good going second. You just tribute, the most problemed card that your opponent has. Dagaran is also searchable in this deck, which is insane. Next thing is Pankratops. This card I would play more of if I was legally allowed to. It's just so good, the fact that it's 2600 attack, and it's a quick effect to tribute to pop a card. Into the hand traps. We're playing the Gamma package. This hand trap is really good right now because it's offensive and defensive. I really like it. I never like to see the driver, when you draw it, that's always terrible, but it's just such a great hand trap right now. I couldn't leave it out. Next thing is 3 Nibiru. I opted for Nibiru over Ash Blossom or some of the others just because it's so impactful against the meta right now. There's lots of decks like Virtual World, spamming the board. You got Drytrons. You have the Zoo decks that put a lot of cards on board and then go into a Megaclops or a Zeus. So Nibiru really is just very impactful this format, and I really like it. Into the spells. This one's pretty self-explanatory. Fossil Dig. Add any level 6 or lower dinosaur monster from your deck to hand. This card is ridiculous. I run 3 of them. Next thing is Lost World. I run 3 Lost World because, again, going second, you want to see this card. You want to activate it. The fact that you can give your opponent a token is really strong. It locks them out of targeting anything except for the token, which really can come in handy. Next thing, 2 Double Evolution Pill. I like it at 2 because I like to have it mirror the Animadorned Archosaur, because with the Archosaur, you can search out the Double Evolution Pill. So 2 Double Evolution Pill, 2 Animadorned Archosaur. Next thing is 3 Dark Ruler No More. This is a going second build, and Dark Ruler No More is just essentially, if you draw it and you're going second, you're very likely to get the win there. to, especially if your opponent is playing a monster effect heavy deck like Drytron. It's just a ridiculous card right now. Next is 3 Pot of Extravagance. This card is what makes the deck so consistent, because the fact that you can just dump some of your extra deck monsters and then draw 2 is just insane card advantage. Next thing is the Dragoon package. And these are my favorite artworks here. I love that Dark Magician artwork from the Shonen Jump, and I love that Red Eyes Black Dragon from the Anniversary pack. And well, anyway, this Dragoon package just really puts the deck over the top, gives it a little extra zing, and you want to get the Dragoon on board and just really pop your opponent's board. So let's get into the extra deck. First thing, 3 Link Karibo. We have to run multiples of a lot of these cards because we're playing Extravagance, and we really don't want to banish. We don't want to banish the Link Karibo because we need that to go into our combo with the Animadorned Archosaur, which I'm going to be showing you. Next, we do 1 Secure Gardna. I would normally do 3 Secure Gardna, but because I'm playing the Dragoon package, I don't always really even need the Secure Gardna because I'm going to use the Link Karibo and then another monster to go into the Anaconda. So then we do 2 Dragoon. Again, we don't want to banish the Dragoon, we don't want to banish the Anaconda, so that's why we're playing multiples. And then the best rank 4 in the deck is Evolsaur Dolka. We run 3 of them, and it's just so good against decks that are heavy with monster effects, because Dolka negates and destroys, and it's not once per turn, so you can do it multiple times. And then we do the 1 Lagia, just better against certain back row decks. You want to be able to stop a normal or special summon or a spell or trap card, so we go with the Lagia. And then this Castle, the Sky Blaster, and then number 101 Silent Honor Arc. I added these in because I was having a lot of trouble with Megaclops. I had no way to get rid of Megaclops. I was playing a lot of Zoo decks. Tyler obviously has the really great Zoo deck. He was getting out Megaclops, and I would have no way to deal with it. So with Castle, I can bounce it. With number 101 Silent Honor Arc, I can attach it to the card as material. So both really good. And then the last, the 15th card is Tornado Dragon. This card is really great against Virtual World. It's pretty much in here for Virtual World exclusively, but also has some utility against back row decks. But you want to use it in Virtual World to pop their Chuche trap card. So it's got a lot of utility there. And let's get into the side deck. So for the side deck, the first thing I have is Ghost Bell and Haunted Mansion. This card is really great. It has a lot of uses in the current meta because it stops Virtual World, it stops Dino. The fact that you can stop banishing a card from the graveyard is great. You can stop special summoning a monster from the graveyard, and you can stop adding a card from the graveyard to the hand, which is fantastic. Next thing is Artifact Lancia. This card is really great against Dino, pretty much stuns them. It's good against Virtual World, stops them from banishing against Virtual World. So Lancia is really strong. The next one is Ash Blossom. Some decks that I'm playing against, the Nibiru is just dead. They're a control deck, or they don't. For example, playing against Invoke Dogmatica, you're not going to get use out of that Nibiru because they're going to have an invoked Makaba on board, and they're just going to negate Nibiru. So you want something with a little bit more utility. So you would side in the Ash Blossom. We do Droll and Lockbird, which is fantastic against Drytron. If you draw it against Drytron, you can pretty much, end their turn. Next thing is Dimensional Barrier. This card is fantastic against Zoo. It's also really good against Drytron. Less people seem to know that, but you declare Ritual and then your Drytron opponent can't really play. And last thing we have is 3 Cosmic Cyclone. This is against back row decks. You want to banish their spells and traps. I prefer this one to Twin Twisters because you don't have to discard a card, and banishing is much better than sending to the sending to the graveyard. So that wraps up the side deck. Let me know down below if you would make any changes based on the current meta, but I think this side deck is really impactful in the current meta. Okay guys, let's do a couple quick test hands here for you and really show you what this deck is capable of. So let's do a little bit of shuffling here, make sure you know I'm not setting this up. And let's go ahead and draw and see what we get. Dark Ruler No More, Petite Pteranodon, Soul Eating Oviraptor, Fossil Dig, and Baby Ceratosaurus. So that's really great. Let's go ahead and say we're going second. So let's draw a 6th card. We have Gamma. That's great. So first thing probably gonna do going second is play Dark Ruler No More. Now our opponent's monster effects are done. The next thing we're gonna do is activate Fossil Dig, and let's search for our Miscellaneous Saurus. Got the Miscellaneous Saurus. Next thing we want to do is activate the Miscellaneous Saurus. And then we'll activate the second effect, banish it to special summon an Animadorned Archosaur. From our deck, we'll go ahead and put it in defense position, activate the Animadorned Archosaur's effect, destroy the baby in hand, and then we get to search for our double evolution pill. So we get to grab the double evolution pill, that triggers the Baby Ceratosaurus effect, and we will special summon, let's go with a Baby Ceratosaurus. From there, we can link off the Animadorned Archosaur into our Link Karibo. And then we can normal summon our Soul Eating Oviraptor. And his effect triggers, we get to add another Dinosaur from deck to hand. So at this point, you can take it a couple routes. If you want to go for game, you can do an Ultimate Conductor Tyranno, probably an overkill. I think I would probably add another Misk to hand. It's always good to have. Then we activate Soul Eating Oviraptor's effect, pop the baby on board, and special summon the one from the grave. That triggers Baby Ceratosaurus effect, and we special summon from our deck the Giant Rex. Then from there, we'll link the Giant Rex and the Link Karibo into our Create a Plant. And then from there, we will activate the double evolution pill, banishing the Giant Rex and the Link Karibo, and special summoning from the deck our Ultimate Conductor Tyranno. That will trigger Giant Rex's effect, allowing us to special summon him back to the board. And then the last thing that we want to do is activate our Prey to Plants effect. So we send our Red Eyes Fusion from deck to grave, and then we send our Red Eyes Bee Dragon and our Dark Magician, and that allows us to special summon our Red Eyes Dragoon. So then from there we can use his effect to pop 2 of our opponent's monsters and inflict life points from there. We also want to overlay these 2 into a Dolka or Lagia, depending. You can also use the Silent Honor Arc, you can use the Sky Blaster situationally, but just generically we're gonna go with Dolka, it's just a stronger option. And from there, we can activate Ultimate Conductor Tyranno's effect, destroy the baby Ceratosaurus on board, or even better, destroy the Petit Pteranodon in hand in order to flip all of our opponent's monsters face down. That'll trigger the Petit Pteranodon, and we can special summon our Pankratops, which gives us another ridiculous boss monster on the board. So this would be our end board here. We have the Anaconda, the Dragoon, the baby Ceratosaurus, the Pankratops, the Dolka, the Ultimate Conductor Tyranno, and from there we're gonna go for game. And you know, not much the opponent can do. We also have a Gamma, we have a Disruption in hand. We have a Misk to set us up for next turn if something goes wrong. But yeah, it's just a ridiculous combo that this deck can do. So yeah, let me know down below what you think. If there's any other more optimal plays that could have been made, I'm always happy to hear. But just wanted to show you guys what this deck is capable of. So this is Shane from House of Cards, TCG, signing out.
House of Cards.